Technology. Are you trembling yet? You should be. I've made countless videos talking about AI and all of the new breakthroughs that are happening pretty much daily now with AI and what it could mean for our future. And now, robots are right around the corner that use integrated AI in order to perform tasks. So we are actually entering that sci-fi age a lot of old movies used to predict for the year 2000. Like where Y2K would vaporize us because of the clocks on the computer, and robots would then take control of the planet like Skynet. But the good news is we're not there quite yet. But we're definitely tiptoeing on that line. We're starting to tickle that little sack. So I just watched a segment about some upcoming robots that are already being rolled out in a small way for Norwegian households. And I'm sure a lot of you have already seen the Tesla robots that they announced not long ago as well. These are kind of in the similar vein where they are task-oriented AI bots.
A robot like this could one day take over your household chores. Meet Neo, a humanoid robot powered by artificial intelligence.
These things look like Shaka from One Piece. So Neo is a household robot that is designed to just do the chores that you give it. So you'd say, Jeeves, pull my finger. And it would come do so. Or Jeeves, make me a cup of joe. That kind of thing. Which I think is exactly what robots should be. I also appreciate that they don't even try to make it have like a human face and shit. I've said for so many years that is just a waste of resources. I don't see any value in having robots that look like human beings unless you're trying to fuck them, which is a totally different kind of robot. Those get into the sexbot territory. Outside of that, there, to me, is just no benefit to having a robot that looks like my grandfather walking around saying, hey bud, do you want help doing your laundry? I don't need a chore bot with a personality or anything.
The prototype is the brainchild of 1X, a company based in Norway and Silicon Valley.
In the long term, this will be doing your laundry, cleaning your house, tidying, and generally giving you back a lot of time in life.
I love the way that Neo moves. It looks like me when I get too drunk, but I'm trying to make it seem like I'm sober, so every single step I take is like the most calculated thing ever.
On top of its job performing household duties, the robot can be operated remotely from anywhere in the world. That's according to Bernd Bornage.
Those assholes are grooving right there. The way they walk in synchronization right there looks like they're about to break out into the fucking cha-cha slide.
The CEO and founder of 1X.
We're really excited about the ability to teleoperate the robot yourself. So if you're somewhere else, you can actually teleport into your robot and do small things in your house that maybe you forgot to do, right? Like feed the cat or close the window.
The way the Neo stands behind him like Slender Man is pretty menacing. But I do think as far as robot designs go, this is one of the least threatening I've seen. It's not trying to be like some kind of cutesy anime robot that you see pop up sometimes in restaurants where they have like the like remote controlled robot that goes around with trays. This one is strictly business. It came to do chores and eat ass, and it doesn't have a mouth to eat ass. And I like that it's just a simple robot that is just there to do something like this. I don't see it taking jobs or anything. It's like a advanced Roomba, really. And I think that is a good direction for something like this, a helper. It's not there to replace the flesh in cringe. It's there to just be a nice little tool that can be utilized. For a crazy price, no doubt. I have a sneaking suspicion this is going to be tens of thousands of dollars per unit.
While the current prototype demonstrated for Reuters was piloted by humans remotely, 1X says the market-ready version will use AI and remote control. The company says that version will be unveiled in 2025. Bornage said he has been testing the robots at home with his own family.
I appreciate that the robots are also really slow. So if there is a ghost in the machine similar to iRobot, I like my odds of being able to fight back. I like my odds of being able to overpower one of these with just a simple jog. I also appreciate that they're not hulking colossus monster robots. They're 5'6" and 60 pounds. Now 5'6" many would say is the optimal height. That's how tall I am. But 60 pounds, that's like a medium-sized dog. I really do feel confident. Should one of these robots just, for some reason, want to, get pugilistic with me, I really think I can take it. I think so. Assuming, of course, it's not armed with some kind of weaponry. Which I don't see why it would be to make fucking coffee and fold clothes. I don't see why it would need like a wrist-mounted rocket launcher like it's some kind of droid from Star Wars.
And we learned an enormous amount from this. And all of these lessons learned went into designing Neo, both the hardware and the AI stack. And we're about to try this again now, and I'm super excited to see the results.
As they mentioned, you can remotely pilot these things, not like a Gundam, you don't, get inside of the machine or anything, but you can control them elsewhere. He mentions you could check on the house while you're away if you forgot to do something or just want to make sure everything's okay. So when the robot is signaling for that person to come over and take a picture, it's clearly somebody that's making the robot do that. It wasn't the AI just really wanting to start scrapbooking or anything.
Standing at 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighing in at 60 pounds, this robot can walk or even run, depending on how urgent the task is. Even if you had a Neo at home, you aren't released from doing all of your chores yet. Neo learns by watching people.
Inside Edition mentioned that it does have the ability to jog, but I haven't seen that demonstrated yet, and judging from its gait pattern when it's walking, watching it jog would be like watching QWOP. Like, it would literally be QWOP for these fucking robots, I imagine. There's no way it's like a pretty adept jogging capabilities. It's not Boston Dynamics behind this or anything where it's doing acrobatics and backflips and shit. I still feel like that jog is probably clunky enough where if it does go rogue and want to slit my throat or something, I still think I can outrun it. And again, it's 5'6", 60 pounds. I like my odds of being able to just fucking manhandle it, throw it into a full Nelson, give it a wedgie, whatever needs to get done. So, it's one of the less threatening robots I've seen come out, and it has exactly the purpose that I think robots should have, which is just simple chores.
How to operate objects, how to do tasks, how to handle interacting with people, body language.
Hey, could you and your friends tidy up here? We have some visitors coming.
Prior to Neo, 1X had a rolling robot named Eve. Eve gave them more knowledge to put into Neo.
So as with most AI, it's trained off people. It learns from people's input. So he's mentioning that in order for it to do the tasks, it's going to have to watch the human being perform them so it can emulate it. He mentions socialization briefly, like how to interact around people. I feel like he doesn't mean it in the sense that most people probably think he means. I don't see these robots being like, having some kind of personality. They're not going to be greeting guests at the door and shaking hands or anything. It seems like he means so that way when a robot's doing a task, it knows not to like bump into a person, or it knows if it's pouring coffee not to like make it too hot to burn the person or something. I think that's what he means by interacting with people. I don't think he's trying to make them like actually socialize around human beings. Because it seems like the goal is very simply, do this shit that no one really wants to do, some annoying chores. And you don't need the robot to have socialization skills to accomplish that. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit because we're getting close to these robots being part of our day-to-day lives. It's not that far off now. I think Tesla's bots are supposed to be coming out in the next couple years. These are already starting to be rolled out in limited amounts to Norwegian households, apparently. He's already got them in his house with his family, so it's not far from now that we're going to be having a lot of robots in our lives. What interesting times. That's really about it. See ya.